Hello everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by the Protomen. This is the third act, so I think we are finally finished with this trilogy. They have been doing since 2005 with their debut, the Protomen. They are a rock opera group, and pretty much what you expect it to be. Just imagine you're just there to go and see an opera, or a rock themed opera, and it's kind of the equivalent of that but listening to it, and I feel like you get an absolute sick ass time with this one. This one is almost just literally a few seconds under an hour listen. You've got a bunch of interludes on this, which pretty much are the kind of ground way to segue into the next song. As you know, with opera you kind of want to have a little bit of a story as well, and that's exactly what this does. So it kind of builds up more narrative by having sound effects, sound cues, and as well as also having some really fun ideas like some 80s synths to kind of negate into into the next song pretty much. But honestly, I was very shocked with this. I've never listened to the Protomen before. I've heard about them, and I decided to give this album a listen because I had on my list of albums to review, and I think I was going to just put this on the January albums of the month video, but I actually wanted to go into this one because, my god, it is quite different from a lot of other stuff. I've never listened to an opera-sounding album, or one that kind of functions like you're listening to an audible opera, than just seeing it as well, which is cool. I honestly think it has got some really creative passages to it, and some of the songwriting just generally feels like it reminiscent straight out of the 80s. Like, this is the type of stuff I can imagine some songs fitting with Sweet, or some songs fitting in more with the Meatloaf sort of sound. I feel like combine both of them, you kind of get the best of both worlds here. And I think also as well the kind of electronic aspects they bring in here and there to really bring in the synths and cool other points to it just enhances the experience even more, in my opinion. It's just an absolute massive amount of crazy good ideas with this, and I feel like this was shocking to see that this was 17 years after the second one came out. And you know, if it's taken this long to make a third one, which is just downright amazing, Half-Life 3 then should also, by that logic, be something they're coming out soon, right? Well, who bloody knows. But Act 3, we got it, and I feel like we just generally have a lot of highlights on this record. Hold Back the Night, straight away one of the best songs on the album. It just reels you in, it's catchy, it's fun, and I just think it's got a really good aesthetic going for it, continuing on from what they've done. Also, that I would know, I haven't listened to their earlier stuff, but I wouldn't imagine the sound to be any less different than what we have here, especially since it's telling a story in, 3 acts, so that makes more than enough sense. Some of the best songs on here do actually come from the final few songs. Light's Last Stand, The Good Doctor Part 2, and The Fate of Thomas Light. It's just 1, 2, 3, just whammy punch of just some absolutely awesome ear-pleasing tunes to me personally. I don't really see myself being someone who loves the kind of older sound of music. I do like a lot of the newer elements that we get. There's still some old stuff I really enjoy, but it tends to be the newer stuff that really makes my brain engage, and yeah, it is the kind of stuff that I definitely prefer. But this generally is just so well made, so well crafted. There's so much effort put into it. The narrative is very fun as well to follow. Honestly, it's more than just an album. It's definitely an experience, and one of the highlights of 2026, in my opinion. It's just so goddamn good. I was not expecting this to be as concrete as I thought, but yeah, I generally am impressed with this one. So many good songs that make up the rest of it, like The City Made Us is just one of my favourites on here. Got Cooling Out, got Hold On, The Distance Between. There is just so many good points, and even the interludes like The Train Yard, which mainly just train noises, but it does kind of set up into the No Way Back song, is very nice. I honestly think this is just an absolute good listen, and personally I will have to do my research in future if they ever do anything else to check out the first 2 as well, so then I got the whole trilogy, and I probably advise you do the same as well if you kind of like the start. This generally is very enjoyable, It kind of reminds me of what Creeper is sort of doing, but they're kind of doing it more as just an album, where this is like taking aspect of that, but turning it into just this very fun, vibrant, upbeat, just absolute, insanely good record. And I like that. It just feels like you're getting, as I said, more than an album. You're getting literally a whole freaking free opera. Just go on Spotify and you've just got an opera to yourself. It's so nice. I genuinely was impressed with this one. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5, I think. I feel like the songs, for me, they're not ones I'll straight go out my way to all the time to listen to. It's kind of one of those, the album's so good, I just listen to the album as a whole. I don't see the need to kind of play songs individually. I feel like that's kind of defeats the charm of it. So I wouldn't see myself doing that, but in terms of an album experience, it's a very good one, and one that I recommend personally. I think it's just generally good time from start to finish, and probably the way that they incorporate the interludes to kind of tie in as the intermission like you would get in an opera or a play. It's very well done, and it actually makes the interludes even enjoyable to listen to, because it does a really good job going into the next bit. So that's what I want to say. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.